go. There we go.
Yes. What's up, dudes?
Podcast.
What's up, Mike Nichols? You excited for Wednesday, buddy? What about you? You look very excited, Mark.
I'm just fucking tired, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking busy all of a sudden.
Getting like a rush?
Yeah.
I feel like we are. We get it too, just because the year's kind of getting close to being the end and the leaves are falling off, so.
This is like, today and yesterday was, I looked at a job. They cut out concrete on patios on a big condominium, and on the 6th floor, they had blue max. On 5, 4, 3, and 2, they didn't, because they said the blue max was a pain in the ass to put up. So I've never seen this, but I guess it's possible. They cut the concrete, and the dust from the concrete was all over the glass, and it's on the ocean. So then it got damp and wet, and stained the fuck out of all the windows. And I guess that could happen to the lime in the concrete, maybe, sitting on it for 6 months. So they had the windows cleaned, not by me, and there's spots everywhere. So I'm like, well, it'll probably polish out. So I pull in there, and the guy calls me and he goes, hey, I need to do one extra thing for me. And I'm like, okay. He goes, you only looked at 5, 4, 3, 2. Goes, number 6, which is penthouse, has blue max. Will you go up there and pull the blue max? It's only 22 windows. And I'm like, okay. And I get up there, and the fucking blue max is back taped with blue tape. So I called him. I go, dude, first of all, you don't really need to put back tape on blue max unless the windows are filthy and the frames are filthy. I go, I can tell you now, just looking at this tape is not going to pull off these fucking frames. And he's like, all right, well, just do the best you can. 2 hours later, I was halfway done. I was cussing that shit. Now, the blue max was coming off, but leaving glue. At least it wasn't. It was coming off pretty much in a couple pieces. And then I started working on the tape, and I called him. I'm like, look, I'm going to get 80% of the tape. I'm not a metal guy. I'm not a frame guy. I'm not putting blades on this white frames. He's like, no, just take a picture and do it. He goes, this is just extra anyway. So I never even got to the polishing part, which I'll go back tomorrow. So I was actually there from about 11 till 3:30, and I was whipped. I was like, I wanted to call in more help, but parking on the island near the beach on a meter is $17 an hour. So yes, $17 an hour, and you can only get 2 hours, and you have to move the car. But it's an app, right? You download an app. So yeah. I call a contractor. I'm like, dude, you're gonna laugh, but I have no fucking idea what I'm supposed to do to park here. He goes, send me a picture of your license plate and the spot number. He goes, okay, you're paid for the day. He goes, do me a favor, try to get this shit done because it's $17 an hour for you to park there. I'm like, that's the most fucking ludicrous bullshit I've ever seen in my life.
$17 an hour is like
so
New
parking,
York City.
Dude, fucking
yeah,
parking. Because it's the island of Palm Beach,
Yeah,
so I got to go back tomorrow, and hopefully I get 4 floors polished up, because the first floor they didn't do the work on the first floor. And the second floor, actually, that one had all brand new windows, and I just washed them, and they were fine. So I got 3 floors probably to do. So it's 20
fun.
Windows floor. So, yeah, it's just been, I don't know if someone shut down, just been busy, which is good. I'm not complaining. But then I got a phone call this morning from my son in Jacksonville. Apparently he left the back door, because the door lock on that one door doesn't always latch, the lock button. And they stole his toolbox with all his welding tools, his torches and welding gloves and hood and everything. They stole it. And I'm like, well, go to school, take the credit card we gave you, that's what it's for, and buy all new shit, and then send me the receipt. And when you come down at Thanksgiving, I'll put a door lock actuator in the truck, and that'll fix the problem. So it's like never ending, it was like by 11 o'clock I was fucking mentally spent for the day.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah. So my kid had to go buy $500 worth of welding gear to go to school today, and I'm like, dude, here's what you're going to do from now on. Whether we fix the lock or not, You have a small toolbox. You know, it's big enough to fit a hood, gloves, this. I go, you bring that shit in the fucking apartment because Jacksonville is not the greatest area. I mean, where he is very good, but still. And the way he rents an apartment, where we got him the apartment, half of the place is for Tulsa Welding School through a program through the school, but he's got his own individual apartment, so he doesn't room with guys from the class. You know what I'm saying? So it was probably somebody in there. You know, they scoped out the truck and said, "Oh, that back door is unlocked. I go, just, you know, he's like, I'm going to go to the pawn shops. I go, what are you going to do if you find your shit? You're going to be able to get it back probably, but you don't know who took it.
No. So the back door doesn't lock at all?
You can manually lock it.
Oh.
You know how like you turn well, no, here's what's weird about it, and I looked it up. Here's what's weird about it. If you turn the ignition off and open the driver's door, all the other locks come up. So it goes up, but it doesn't lock down. You understand? You physically have to manually lock that door.
He didn't know it didn't lock?
Yeah, he probably didn't know that. So they just open, you know, and I'd rather, you know, look, if someone wants to get it, I'd rather them open the door than smash the fucking window out of the truck, you know?
Well, that's what they'll do the next time he leaves his tools in his truck.
Right. So, well, and they know it's there now. And I go, dude, he's like, I told you, because that truck had a toolbox in it. We took that toolbox out and put it in Scott's truck because he works for me and he needed a toolbox. And he goes, oh, you should have kept the toolbox. I go, dude, I could get in that toolbox with a fucking screwdriver. You know, it's aluminum top diamond plate toolbox. You put a pry bar in that bitch, it opens up in 10 seconds without making a sound. I go, so now, you know, just be careful. You know, and where he parks, he's on the second floor. He could look at his truck. But, I mean, you know, you sit in the window and look the whole time. Shit happens.
Yeah.
But hopefully that it doesn't, you know.
Yeah, lead to more break-ins and cost you more money.
Right, exactly. So
there's nothing worse than going to work for the day and being like, oh, I didn't make any money today.
I'll tell you what I did the other day on Monday. I couldn't fucking believe it. No, it was Tuesday, yesterday. I fucking drive 15, 20 miles to my first stop, which was a restaurant, the one that I take the video, TJ, and I fucking get out of my truck, and the fucking tailgate's down, and I'm like, I've done that before, and I've lost my shit on I-95, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that square bucket that I'm using now, like you guys, it has those feet on it, so it slid to the back and then wedged itself in the open area of the tailgate, so it didn't move. My belt was still there. All my the poles had slid back, and they were approaching exit stage left, but they stayed. I didn't lose a fucking thing. And I'm like, how do I back my truck up and not look at the camera to see that the tailgate's down, you know?
So, it's early in the morning.
Almost.
I'm surprised no one beeped at you on the highway the whole way there.
Yeah. Well, I drive all back roads to get to this job. It's like 10 miles away, and I'm like, nobody pulled up to me at red light and goes, hey, dude, your fucking tailgate's down and shit's moving around. I do that for people, but no one does it for me. They're like, oh, there's that asshole driving with his tailgate down again.
Yeah. It's the first thing I look for because it's happened way too many times. Especially when I work with another guy, and I just assume everyone I work with is a moron. Yeah. So I check the ladders because I've driven 20 miles and then a ladder goes, zoop.
Oh, yeah.
It's later on the highway. And like, you're like, oh, I didn't lock it. I'm like, oh, I didn't lock it isn't a thing. The car behind me almost died.
Right.
So now I have to check everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
You learn your lesson. I was working for somebody else at the time, and I had to pay the fine. Boss's son. He was a moron. And he didn't tie the ladder down that he took off the truck.
Damn.
Oh.
Be careful.
Do you still use your microphone, Seth?
I have it on right now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It's right here.
Pick it up and talk again.
Hello?
Wonder why. Where's it sitting at?
Like
sitting right in front of you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like I don't know, a foot away.
What the fuck?
The most. I mean, I can angle it more. I mean, I'm always was told it needs to be straight up. Yeah, I turned the volume up a little bit too. See if that's
the game
better.
Yeah, that sounds really good actually.
All right, I must have just hit it by accident when I was setting it up. I usually don't mess with the settings too much.
What's going on in your world, TJ? It's cold up there now, huh?
Not really. It's it's 58 degrees right now.
Not that bad.
That's not too bad.
We're 73 this morning when I walked out. It was nice.
It's beautiful.
Gloomy all day, so it stayed around 73, 75, maybe.
It's weird. I usually get TJ's weather 2 days later.
Yeah.
So, like, if he's in a warm spell, I'm like, all right, cool, that's coming. If he's in a cold spell, I'm like, damn it.
Right.
Because everything kind of blows west to east. So, it was cold today. I mean, it didn't get above, like, 41, 42. We hadn't had any freezing weather yet, but this weekend it's supposed to drop into, like, the mid-20s overnight.
Yeah.
And, like, 40, 45 during the day. So, it's coming. But being this close to the ocean, though, too, I get kind of... Like, even if you went, like, an hour west of me, it'd be 10, 15 degrees colder than it is here. So,
yeah.
I'm kind of lucky.
Nice.
Never really that bad. But, no, I'm not excited. It's gutter cleaning season again, and my knees are trash, and my back hurts, and it's just gonna... Like, 6 weeks of hell. But it's good money. Not hard to say no.
Yeah.
Bought those. I saw this guy use Skyvac poles.
Any good?
A leaf blower. And he showed like the attachment he did, so I'm going to try that out tomorrow to blow out some second stories. Because if I can save myself getting up there, I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah. Well, I've seen what your gutters fill with because of my brother-in-law's house. I mean, that thing must have some serious suction if it's pulling those big...
Yeah, well, that's why I put it on a leaf blower instead of on a Skyvac. So instead of sucking it in, it's going to blow them out.
Yeah.
Like, that's theoretically what I'm hoping happens.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, things
you
get...
bought a gutter vac? Is that what you said?
No, I bought the gutter vac poles, but I attached it to the leaf blower. I tried it out on, like, some mid-level stuff. It's worked pretty good. I just don't know if you can do, like, 40-foot work with it.
I think that'd be a challenge.
Yeah, well, it's still better than climbing up and going up there by hand with like a 40-foot ladder. That sucks too.
I wouldn't do that. No gutter job's worth that money.
Nice. I still got 2 that I do just because I do a bunch of other crap for them and I hate doing it. But brick cleaning can be good money. It's gross work. Just you're dirty. You're covered in shit. You find dead birds.
See, we have a lot. We have a lot of gutters here, but I don't think after seeing what I've seen up by you, we get pine straw and that lays in the bottom like a mat. So if you're gonna clean it, like I clean mine every now and again, you literally can pull a whole. They weave together, and you can pull it like 6 feet of it out at a time.
Yeah.
But the leaves that y'all get up there, holy shit.
Everyone pissed and moaned because they didn't want us to do the podcast on Thursday nights. Every single one of them dudes that cried in the comments for weeks about it being on Thursday night aren't even here.
Right. You got 8 people according to my fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like anything, you got to do it for 2 weeks before these ding-dongs Until they miss Thursday night, they won't realize that Wednesday happened. Listen, we're window cleaners.
Maybe this motherfucker's run its course, man. It's been 5 years.
I mean,
I ain't giving up like that.
Maybe we just run it to 300 and fucking.
Well, you know what, TJ? I'll
pull on the tampon string and just fucking toss it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll do it for the fan.
Yeah.
One fan.
Yeah.
Again, we get the same viewership every. Yeah. Like when people watch it later.
Yeah.
I mean. Even
that's what makes me question. That's what makes me question doing it live anymore. Like, it might as well just pre-record it and just upload it because nobody watches it live anymore.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I can't remember the last time I watched a live YouTube video for more than 8 minutes before I was like, I got distracted and did something else.
Right.
You know what I don't like about YouTube? If I go on my phone, like if I miss a podcast. Obviously, if I'm driving, I'll put it on. But if I'm working and want to listen to it, you physically have to have, at least on my phone, YouTube open, or it shuts off.
If you have a premium subscription to YouTube, you can, you pay whatever the fee is for a month, and you can play videos with with your screen locked.
I wonder if
that's an ad.
Yeah, but I have YouTube
Then
Red.
you should be able to log into your YouTube account on your phone, your Red account on your phone, and be able to do that then.
It's like one day Kate goes to me, every month we're getting charged this much. Do you know what this is? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna cancel it. Okay. Then all of a sudden I go to listen to my music because she uses Pandora. I like YouTube Red because it downloads to an account and I have all different, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden I go to pull up and the library is fucking empty. But I could listen, but I can't download anything. And I'm like, and I like it at camp because there's not a lot of signal, so I always have music. Point being, I go, you need to fucking reinstate that shit. And she's like, well, if we do it for the year, it saves like $15. I go, just pay for the fucking year. And so, the good thing was,
you guys are counting pennies to the point where you're like trying to save $15 a year.
No. It just
you guys got like you guys have 73 cars. Like sell a car, get rid of one insurance payment.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I know this mentality. My wife every 6 months is like, "We're spending too much money. Let me look at everything." She canceled.
Jennifer's the same. Jennifer's the same way. This is $10. This is $10.
No, she was just wondering what it was because it didn't show up as YouTube Red on the bank statement.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go, you know what? Fuck you, cancel it. Fuck them.
What is this? Right? What is this? OnlyFans?
Right.
Paying to see TJ's tits.
As long as it doesn't say like porn club or some shit like that, you know.
Purpleheadedyogurtslingers.org.
Right. Transtesticle.org, you know. But so yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like maybe, like I was saying before, maybe this has run its course, man.
I don't think that's what it is. I think
maybe we should just maybe we should do a different show. Let's do a show about something else.
I mean, we kind of really don't talk about window cleaning other than what we did for the day anyway.
Right?
I mean, we stopped taking questions. Well, not stop taking questions, but we don't ask.
Nobody asks questions.
No, because I don't think that's what anyone watches for. They want to hear us bitch and moan about the people we worked for.
Well, I figured if we moved it off of the night of the temple on Thursday nights, maybe fucking we get more people showed up.
Temple. Regardless, AKA Satan himself is sitting in this seat. So rid of me, you're good. I'm kidding. I got a J-Dub that works for me. He loves me. I also give him a paycheck every Friday.
Yeah, he has to love you, dude. Come on.
Nah, he's a good kid. Or guy, I should say. But I'll tell you one thing. Hiring them, they're good workers, man. You don't have to worry about stealing nothing.
Bullshit. I had a J-Dub that worked for me.
Oh,
and that motherfucker, I couldn't send him to. Oh, this is the truth. You could ask.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, you've told me the story.
To a yoga salon.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah. Go chop up some wood and stand there and look at these women bent over collecting air in a weird position.
Getting your son doing some nefarious behaviors at that yoga studio.
Yeah, and then I got a call from the owner of he had two of them. He had two yoga studios. Go figure.
Yeah, Bob.
One of them called and said, "Listen, we love your service. They do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
When I ask him to do the mirrors, he always does them for me. I'm like, yeah, because you got these ladies bent over showing their meatloaf, okay?" And she goes, "There's just one thing." And I'm like, "What can I do to make you happy?" She goes, "One of your employees just stands there, and it's almost creepy, staring." And I go, "Okay, is it the young one in his 20s, or is it the old man in his 50s?" She goes, "Oh, it's definitely the old man in the 50s." I go, "You don't have to worry about this anymore. I'll take care of it." And
$6,000, Chris.
Depends what you want. And by
$6,000, depending on what you want.
About yours.
$6,000.
It's only with a generous 20% commission going to
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I'm your greatest advertiser. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm just telling you. I mean, you have to stay. You don't want to be the $99 guy.
Listen,
I'm
bro.
Just saying you can sell.
I'm your greatest fucking advertiser, bro. That motherfucker's in every fucking video I shoot.
I'm gonna say one thing. I just watched your video while we were fucking around.
Mm-hmm.
The new one you just did with the new Unger pad.
Yeah,
dude, you need to do something about that pump. That bitch is louder than a growling, snarling.
That's the one that's been replaced already. That video was shot well over a month ago.
That reminds me of Donald Trump standing next to the helicopter trying
those
to talk.
Those pumps, the housing rattles apart and they just backs the screws out. I just let it go.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Okay.
No, I don't. Well, it looked like it was earlier in the season because your footage is kind of like. There's leaves on the trees. It looks nice.
It was still nice outside. I've had that power pad or whatever the fuck that thing is for a while. I just haven't been. I've been waiting on this computer to show up, and I just, I was like, I'm not going to start doing videos again until I get that. Well, I don't know if you can kind of tell the video's a little bit different than what I typically do. It looks and transitions a lot better than what I'm normally doing. I just kind of farting around with the footage, you know what I mean? So I just scratched the surface on that program that I'm using now. So that pump, I run them till the fuckers. I mean, I have a brand new backup in the truck at all times, but I run them until the fucking wheels fall off of them. I don't give a fuck. And it just so happens that one there was just laying. It was just laying there. It wasn't even bolted to the fucking hoochie-majig. It wasn't. It's not even bolted to the frame because I had to take it off to tighten the housing. Yeah. And because the one that I normally keep in the back seat of my truck, I cleaned out the back of my truck for something. I was looking for. I was looking for something I couldn't, an attachment to my GoPro, and I pulled everything out, and I set everything in the shop, and I didn't put I have a box of maker shit that I'm testing and shit, and that pump, and a couple other things that go on the passenger side. I didn't put it back in there, but that fucking housing started rattling off the truck, so I had to unbolt it on a job, lay it down to fucking tighten the screws on it, and I just didn't bolt it back. It was just laying there. I was like, I gotta change it. Like, actually, I mean, I might even have footage. I might even shot footage of me replacing it, but I replaced it 5 minutes after I shot that video. I was fucking in the shop fucking taking my skid apart. And then it fucking melted down on me last week, and I had to put another pump in the motherfucker.
Yeah, Jason reached out to me late last week. His RO pump was hanging up. And so I'm like, let me find you something. He's got a good pump on there, but I could not find a 90 PSI. I wanted to run his RO at 90, which is what I sent it to him with. Mm. It's only a 50 PSI, but you run 90 through it, that bitch will move some water. And I go, well, I can't find a 90 PSI bypass. And every one of these pumps goes through the same thing. Like the new one that I have, I sent you a picture of it. This is the one I've been using. Mm. Sometimes all of a sudden the water stops. It's only happened like 3 times. I turn the switch on and off a couple times. It's the pressure switch hanging up. They fail or start to fail on every one of these fucking things.
Well, I'll tell you what. That Tractor Supply motor is 2 years old now.
The Tractor Supply? Seth, do me a favor.
$97 Tractor Supply.
If you remember, take a picture or a screenshot of it and send it to me, because I got Tractor Supply right here.
Bro, I've showed you that pump 4 fucking times. You act like I bought a fucking Nissan.
I want it from Seth. I don't want it from you.
I don't want a fucking Toyota pump in my truck. I want I want the high dollar. It's $97. You fucking pay an extra $25,
and you get the warranty.
And you get a 2-year warranty.
I think I have the $75 one or the $79.
Well, there's a $150 one too. That happened. The $129 one. That's the one I'm using. The 4.5 gallon per minute pump.
Is that the Remco?
No.
The Remco's big money.
It's some fucking hootie-doo fucking off-brand fucking bullshit.
And it's the only reason I do it is Tractor Supply is 2 miles from my shop.
I'm the same way. Tractor Supply is right down the fucking road.
When I do the same thing at every job. I shut the switch off, I open up the valve, and I let all the pressure out until the water's barely coming out.
Not me. I fucking, while my hose is out, I walk my fucking shit back to my truck, stick the brush in my bucket, and then flip the switch off and just let it fucking drain completely out. And then roll it up You know what I mean? And once
I've
got my hose all the way wound up, I disconnect it, so I'm of course not leaking the rest of my water out, and whatever I'm losing, I'm saving in my bucket. You know what I mean?
You know what I was thinking about earlier, T, when I watched your video? I wish we had a gallon meter on that skid. Between you and I, that bitch has got to run 30,000 gallons by now.
Oh God!
What, that one that you've given me?
Yeah, because I had it for 2 years.
Easy.
I put 50 gallons in that thing every day.
Easy. Now, dude, in the summertime, I'm making stops at the house to fill up again. I'm not gonna be doing that next year. Next year, I'm taking that fucking Zero Pure, that X2 that exploded on me, and when the heat went in the shop, I'm fucking mounting that in the back of my truck.
Yeah, and use it to fill while you're out on the road.
Instead of having to go back to the crib. Yeah.
I know. I want to build like the ultimate to fill the big tank I have here. I want to get like 4 inch ROs and see how much water I can make and like quickly, because filling that tank.
Well, I can tell you right off the top of my head, because I was fucking with it. The 50 psi membranes, like the Zeros are using, 50 RO membrane with just hose pressure without a pump on them, make about a gallon a minute. I had Jason's up to 1.5, 1.7 at 90. So if you run a pump, then you just multiply it. You know what I'm saying? So
my X2 Max, I fill my 50-gallon tank in
20 minutes.
About 19 minutes.
Yeah, so it's 2 gallons a minute, because you're doubling it. You got 2 40-inch membranes.
Yeah.
So I mean, why I fill that tank the way that I do is because I have a 5-gallon a minute pump that pumps out of that tank, so I can fill my skid in 10 minutes in the morning and I'm gone. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I like it. But
I'm preemptive. When I come home, I fill my shit up before so when I get up in the morning, it's just turn the key, go. I don't do the whole let's fill the tank in the morning shit. I barely want to go to fucking work anyways.
Let me explain this. I don't do any of this.
I'm thinking about going to barber.
I get to the shop and I get in the car.
Yeah.
You're executive. We're not.
I get ready.
I walk my dogs. I hook it up. See, I have my whole house RO is at 14, and then I have it through my DI tanks, and then it goes to the DI on there. So I know if it's about, and my house will move some water because I'm only going. It's already through the RO. It's a pump in the tank.
Right.
I take my dogs down the block.
Mm-hmm.
Takes 15 minutes. I'm topped. You know what I'm saying? By then I come back, it's pouring on the ground. I shut it off and go. But pretty much every other day I fill it.
Yeah. During the season, it's every day. If not, sometimes I have to come back and fill.
Probably not this winter, but probably next winter. I'm probably going to start barber college.
There you go.
Barber?
For real.
You be dicing it up, son?
Dead ass, yeah. I got to have I'm not going to do this forever. I might have a couple of bread and butter jobs, you know what I mean? A couple of houses, couple of, maybe keep my Wendy's, you know what I mean, until I can't squeege no more, but I'm not going to be doing this forever. I'm not going to be Mark Tanner sitting in my truck fucking putting dicks on shit. Like, man, I don't want to do this today. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be doing it work to young kids' heads.
I mean, is it?
Right. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that shit. I do it at a red light, goddamn.
Yeah.
It don't take long.
Well, dude, it's just I don't know if it's just my age, but today I got a Myers called me. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a grocery store. It's a big grocery store up here in North.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
They called me. They're like, hey, Wednesday. They called me yesterday, actually. Yeah. They called me yesterday. I got a vice president coming into town. They want their windows done. And I shop at the store every day, so I already know. The windows are beat. They're not like fucking like debris on them. They're not beyond repair. It's just they need
old ass windows that have
the windows are in good shape. They're just not maintained. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm gonna have to scrape all this shit down. So it took me like almost 2 hours to do. I made like $375. It was an easy gig, but it's just the shutting the doors down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut one door down, clean it on the inside, go around, clean the outside, come back and flip it on, vice versa, all the way down, 8 doors per end. And I'm standing here at this door, and I'm standing in front of the door on the outside, and there's 2 doors to my, there's 3 doors to my, or 2 doors to my right, and I'm standing in front of one door, and then there's another door next to me that's open, you know what I mean? And this dude walks up behind me, and he's just standing there. And I'm cleaning my windows, and he's like, excuse me. And I turn around, and I'm like, okay. I was like, what's up? He's like, what are you doing? I was like, cleaning the windows. He's like, well, I'd like to do my grocery shopping. And I was like, well, the door is open right there. I was like, he's like, well, I just figured you
get out of my way.
When a customer comes up, I figured you'd move out of the way. I was like, well, the door is shut down. He goes, so? And I'm like, and then I don't know what came over me, dude, but I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? Like, I just, fucking lost it. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? Are you fucking retarded? That door right next to me is fucking open.
Yeah.
And another one, 2 other people behind him walk up. I had the Clearview shirt on with my phone number, the whole 9. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, are you fucking retarded or something? I was like, are you just looking for a fucking argument? Verbatim. I was cussing at this motherfucker. Like, I just lost it. I'm like, are you that big of a fucking asshole?
Yep, he is. Well, you know what I
was like, dude, what is... I'm just trying to think, guys, am I the only one when you're at a fucking entrance? There's more than one door to enter the fucking property, and these motherfuckers walk up to the one you're standing in front of.
Yeah, they don't care.
Power trip for people that are losers.
Well, he lost today, because I fucking told him to get fucking bent. I was like, get fucked, dude.
What, do you think I work for Myers?
He's like, well, I'm going to go in here. I was like, you go in there and tell them motherfuckers whatever the fuck you want to tell them. I don't give a fuck. I'll go in there with you.
Yeah, let's go talk to him together.
Yeah, let's go in there and talk to him together, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck.
What I do is...
Guess what he did, though? He walked through that other fucking door.
Oh, yeah.
He went through that other fucking door. I can tell you that. And another thing, they paid me promptly with fucking cash when I walked out that bitch, too. Eat a fucking stack of dicks. I don't get... They're most... I promise you, they'll probably never call me again because they only clean the fucking windows because the vice president's coming. That's it. Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
No,
I've been shopping there for as long as I don't ever think I've seen those windows cleaned. You know what I mean? They've never looked that good. The manager of the store, he's like, man, I didn't even think the windows could look that good. He goes, they look amazing. Like, heaping me with praise, you know what I mean? But no matter what, the way I looked at it right then, I wasn't thinking about future cleanings. I was just wanting to stick my foot in this fucking dude's ass.
Yeah.
Cocky, arrogant motherfucker. And then he comes out with a box of fucking wine. I wanted to fucking shove it up his fucking ass. Then he hopped in his fucking pussy fucking Prius. You fucking pussy motherfucker.
Box of wine. I'm guessing this gentleman is of retirement age?
No, he's like fucking like in his 50s. Yuppie fucking in a fucking Prius. Fucking turd burgling fucking... I can't go no further with it than what I want. What I want to say, I can't say on YouTube. You fucking pussy. The audacity of some people, it's like, do you not have anything better going on in your life than to just be a fucking asshole to some dude just trying to make a fucking, a little bit of coin? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just out here doing my fucking thing. I'm not, like fucking jackhammering next to your fucking pussy Prius. I'm not doing none of that shit, my boy. I'm just out here doing my job. You know what I mean? I'm just out here, working. You know what I mean? No big deal. Blue collar type shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you just want to walk up. 4 fucking doors this guy can walk through. He walks to the one that I'm standing at and stands there like this. Asshole. Excuse me. I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Well,
fuck you.
I'll tell you this, my Whole Foods has...
I personally, not to cut you off, but I personally I think in his mind, he thought that he saw me, the lowly window cleaner, and he thought that he was going to get by on some fucking, like, I'm going to swing my dick around today. Well, I'll fucking lop that motherfucker off and shove it in your fucking mouth, homeboy. Fuck out of here, dickhead.
No.
Pussy.
My Whole Foods have sliding doors like that. and you can't turn them off because it takes a key to turn them off.
Right.
Right. But if the door's open, the inside is where they open to. If you grab the door and physically open it, it swings out and it stops all the action.
These aren't fucking sliders. These are fucking just regular man doors that pop open.
Yeah.
So each door's got a switch on it that you can manually shut off. Everything was fucking fine. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is he walked up, Mark, and the fucking door to my left opened.
Yeah.
The one I'm standing in front of didn't. Like, what the fuck?
He was looking for an argument.
He was just looking to be an asshole, and he found an asshole. He found him.
Out of 10 times, if I'm watching a regular door, a swing open door that you got to push, it only about 1 out of 10. I could tell someone will walk up and they'll stop and they'll wait. I'm usually able to reach over and open the door as I'm still working, and they always say thank you. But on the occasion that some asshole goes to push the door, I immediately put my foot on the bottom of the door and slow the fuck down and detail that motherfucker.
Yes.
Fuck you.
The best detail you ever did on a door in your life. I've actually had a dude go to push the door open while I'm squeegeeing it, and I fucking stick my foot in front of it, and he ran into it. That was fucking classic.
Yeah.
And then he got all pissed off. I was like, dude, I'm standing here, man. Yeah. I'm standing here, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Mild inconveniences that people have to deal with are insane.
Yeah.
It's not minor inconveniences.
It's why all my new shirts now just have my logo on it. There is no number on it anymore.
Yeah.
I
should probably remove my phone number from my shirt.
Well, I can tell you this: my shirts have always had my number on them, and I've never got a phone call off
from your fucking shirt. That's all these guys, all these dudes are like, oh man, you're wearing WCR shirts to work in, man. What about your company shirt?
That's what I wore to work today.
Dude, I've never had one person call me like, hey, I saw your T-shirt. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I had a guy come to me one time, and he goes, do you have a card on you? And I reached in my pouch, and I didn't have a card. And I go, you know what? Just you got a cell phone? Yeah. Take a picture of my shirt. And he goes, oh, that's a great idea. And he took a picture of the shirt. I never heard of him.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
He never called.
I'll tell you this, man. My fucking Google listing destroyed me this summer, dude. Destroyed me. The amount of fucking phone calls I'm getting now is fucking insane, dude.
Oh, it's Google is. It sucks how much we have to rely on it. It's like
now that I got that Google, they didn't even, dude. I don't even know. I'm not even sure how the fuck it's verified, to be quite honest with you. I guess I must have done something the way it's set up now, that it's set up in a way that you don't have to really sweat that shit, but it's verified, got the check mark.
You got the verified little blue check, you're good.
Yep, I'm good to go. I'm fucking golden, and it's working.
Take everything you have on Instagram, upload it onto Google.
No, I don't do that. I take fresh pictures from my Google. Every job, I take a picture, post it straight there. That's the last thing I do before I leave.
Mark, I was just saying you have so much stuff already.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of my shit on Instagram is repeat customers anyways. I don't really... There's some shit I'm, like, closely guarded with. Like, there's shit that I do in town that I don't talk about on social media. I don't talk about on here because I don't want motherfuckers trying to steal it from you for $25. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I keep that shit on the DL. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's certain services that I do that I don't discuss my pricing or what I make doing it because there is a certain guy who's always dick riding around here.
Yeah.
And like, what are you doing? I'm going to do the same thing and send out 80,000 leaflets for it. I'm like, I'll charge $10. Really? I'm charging $200 more because I write this convoluted bullshit that's like, if you do it now, this price. And then he always is more. His coupon looks like a lawyer gave you a document to sign. You're like, I'm getting fucked. Like something bad's happening.
I just hit people with the straight up truth. I'm just like, listen, I do this by myself. I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm the guy that's going to bid the job. I'm the guy that's going to do the job. And I'm going to be the guy that if you don't like it, I'm going to come back and fix the job. Most of these other guys, you're going to call them, they're going to send some dude they hired off of the fucking Craigslist or fucking out of the Sandusky registers. They're probably not going to fucking have their pants around their waist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't give a shit. They're not going to care like I care. You know what I mean? That's just it in a nutshell. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Answering the phone.
90% of the reason why I close the amount of jobs that I close, and I get this from every customer I've ever like interacted with. I always ask them like, how did you find me? And they're like, oh, I found you this way or that way. And then I was like, well, did you call anybody else? I was like, well, I called a couple other guys, but you came right out and gave us an estimate. You know what I mean? That's like you. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's how I get with every, like, you know, be like they are like, you know, adamant about the fact that what I said I was going to do, I did it. Like, hey man, I'll be out there. I'll be out your way Wednesday. I'll stop by Wednesday. I'll shoot you a text message by mid to late afternoon. I do that. I fucking close every job. Even the ones that I'm like, man, I don't want to fucking do this and fucking drop the like exorbitant amounts of price. Like I'll do it for like $700 or, you know, like $1,000 to clean your windows. Okay, and I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're like, you know, you were just on time, man. You did what you said you're gonna do. The guy I used last year, it took me fucking 3 times to get him here, and it's like, fuck, man. Being reliable and shit is just fucking for the birds, dude. Like I should be a loser.
It's insane how many people start businesses and then just like, fuck it, I'm not answering the phone. I'm not calling nobody. Like, I've been trying to get a plumber for, like, one thing that I can't do at my house. There's, like, these press fittings, and I'm not going out and buying a pro press to fucking do this shit.
Right, yeah.
I'm not doing it. So I've called 3 plumbers in the past week. I haven't been called back once. I'm like, how the fuck do these dudes make money?
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing. Most of these dudes are like fucking just, I don't know if they're busy, but it's almost seems like they're like stepping over dollars to pick up dimes type shit. You know what I mean?
I thought that was a South Florida thing. Apparently not.
What's that?
Oh, dude.
Not calling people back.
No, dude. I have a lady
it's worldwide, Mark.
Dude, I'll tell you what happened on Tuesday. I was at that Italian restaurant. My phone rings as I'm getting in my truck finishing up, and she goes, do you know so-and-so? And I'm like, I always say yes. I don't fucking pay attention to people's names. Yeah. He referred you for window cleaning at my house. And I go, okay. I go, well, we're really not a residential company, but I'd be happy to come look at it. And if the company doesn't do it, you know, my son and one of my guys will do it for you. And she's like, well, it's a pretty big house. And I go, okay, do me a favor. Text over the address, and I'll come by tomorrow and look at it. Dude. She sends over the address. I Google it, and it's 37,000 square foot house. Right? So I'm like, I'll send you pictures of it. 37,000 square foot house, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna go look at this. So I had told her this was on Tuesday. I could come look at it on Thursday. After I saw that online, I go, hey, I got about a half hour, and I'm only 20 minutes away. I said, you mind if I come by now? And she's like, no, absolutely. I walked this house with the house manager.
Did you have to take a camel back and pack a lunch? Fucking 37,000 square feet. Need a fucking golf cart to drive around that fucking thing.
She goes, I go, listen.
If you were Jay Camarillo, you do those every day. Do that all the time.
That's the big difference. We have 17 guys waiting to go do big jobs. That takes 3. So,
I got guys waiting.
Right. Yeah, we pay them to wait, you know.
Yeah.
So I go over there and I go, okay, so do you have regular maintenance? And she goes, that's where everything gets bad. And I go, okay. And she goes, the owners are pretty much on call. And I go, okay, well, I go, but you have somebody now? And she goes, here's the problem, is he can't always come. And I go, look, so I'm the backup guy, right? I go, let's just be honest with me. If I'm the backup guy and I got to rely on him not being able to do it, and then I got to drop things to do the job, I said, that's going to come with a premium. I want to clean your windows, but and she's like, well, let's see what we could do. And I know that's just buttering up. I said, you mind if I take some pictures? She's like, as long as you don't put them on the internet, we're good.
Right.
I take some pictures. I go home. I don't feel like doing anything, but I make it a point to come in here and write the proposal. I sent the proposal at 6 o'clock last night. At 7 a.m., she says, I want you here December 12th. Can you do it that day? And I go, absolutely, we'll be there. She goes, we're going to give you a shot. I know. I go, when I had spoke to her, I go, this is a pretty big house. I go,
you doing it inside and out?
No, just outside. Outside only. She goes to me. She goes, the problem is the guy shows up with a helper, and they're here from 8 a.m. till about 7 p.m. And I looked at her and I go, listen, I'm going to be out of here by 2 o'clock. I said, and your windows are going to be clean. I go, and my price might be a little less because he's spending 12 hours here. I go, I don't see 12 hours of work. And she goes, I go, but you have to trust that we're going to leave here. It's going to look fine. She's like, oh, no problem. I sent her the price. She's going to give us a shot. I'll send you a picture. I just can't put it on the video, on the internet.
Are you WFP in it?
We're going to water fed it, and then we're going to pull the water off. I'm not going to take a chance right on the ocean.
Yeah.
Of it getting salty, but dude.
Oh, that's gonna be a long day.
Yeah.
Fuck
as
that,
long as
dude.
someone's right there, we literally scrub and pull right away.
Nah,
I know he's
fucking fuck that. I just hit it with soap and water and just do it.
Well, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If I put the water on that bitch and it's sheeting down beautifully, I'll roll the dice. Absolutely. But if it's got those water spots on the bottom,
yeah, you gotta remember that. What that's gonna be. Yeah.
I did one job that way. I took the risk. I was it's on Water Street. It's right on the ocean. And I was like, oh, the wind's blowing this way in the morning. I'm like, I'll be fine. And I forgot that the wind shifts in the afternoon. The end of the day, I go and look. I'm like, motherfucker, there's salt bullshit all over this.
The water droplets get contaminated.
Every time afterwards.
The water droplets get contaminated. Yeah. In 10 seconds. That's why we do it that way.
I don't even, I mean, even still, I mean, I don't really deal with ocean water, but, like, if it's too sunny out and shit, it's just going to zap that shit to the glass.
Yeah.
And it's going to look like shit.
The sun kills it, and the wind. Yeah. The wind here is, because anything near the beach is windy all the time, 15 mile an hour.
I don't mind the wind if it's cloudy, but if it's sunny and windy, like, screwed.
100%. Yep.
And the only way you can do it, like I've done it a few times because there's been some class where I'm like, it's a wall from like my head up of French paint. Like there's not a fucking chance in hell. No. I'll send a guy in front of me for 20 minutes to hose that bitch down and get that glass.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I'm not doing it by hand.
Well, that's the thing. You just nailed something that a lot of people don't think of. In the sun, glass is 120 degrees on a 90-degree day. And if you're water fed in that shit, and the glass doesn't cool down, it's going to dry too quick and leave that shit every fucking time.
Yeah.
I still think, like, especially when you're by the water, knocking a little bit of that salt down,
Yep.
So you're not, like, it's not hanging in the brush.
Yeah, even if you use raw water, just run a garden hose on that bitch.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just send them out. I'm like, make sure, put your hand on the glass.
I actually have a lead in a garden hose in my truck for just that. I'll fucking hook my garden hose up to the fucking spigot and fucking hook it right up to my fucking water fed pole and fucking whack it all down first. Yeah. If it's one of them
type of water.
Yep, instead of wasting water, yep. Get a pre-scrub on it, get it all scrubbed down, and there's times where I'll hit it with a mop and some soap and scrape her down and then fucking go back and water fed pole her, you know what I mean? Whatever I can do to not get on a fucking ladder, that's what I've been doing lately. I don't give a fuck. All them dudes in pro window cleaning be like, man, what ladders for life? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
I got a kid who started working with me again. Had worked for me in the past, and he probably quit 4 or 5 years ago. He got married, had a family. He was working with another J-Dub, and then came back because he wanted to make like he had a kid and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, come on back. So we're doing stuff a lot differently than we did. And he's like, man,
learn the ropes so he can start his own business.
I'm like, stand here with this pad, scrub the shit out of it with the soap. I'm like, we'll rinse it with the hose, and we're going to come back. And he's like, why? I'm like, because my knees hurt. This is from 6 years ago, Seth was getting up there and doing that.
Yeah.
40-year-old Seth is standing here on the ground doing
Yep. And I know, like I said, I know there's dudes in those groups that are fucking cowboys and shit, and they're fucking Arosa and every fucking thing they can fucking get their hands on. You know who I'm talking about. What's his name? Arosa?
Mike?
Yeah, Mike Arosa. Mike Arosa fucking everything. You know what I mean? And that's cool. That's cool. I'm not hating on you for it, but you know what? I'm not doing that.
People are built that way, man.
Dude, I just keep thinking about fucking being at like a pile at the bottom of a fucking ladder for a fucking window. Like, eat a fucking stack of dicks.
Yeah, but dude, when I was 25, I'd run up a ladder like it wasn't even there. I didn't even think about it.
Well, that's a lot different when you're 25 because you're a fucking idiot.
I was doing that till 35, and I went,
you're a fucking idiot.
Only has so
if I'd still been doing that, I'd probably be dead by now, you know?
You're a fucking moron when you're fucking that age.
Is this the same?
You know what I'm saying?
Does Katie have a YouTube channel? It might be an
My wife?
Yeah, Katie Window Cleaning. Does he have a YouTube channel? KD.
I don't know.
I thought I saw somebody in there like building a filtration system, and I thought it was Katie.
I don't know.
I was tired. I was like just death scrolling YouTube for forever.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't pay attention. I used to pay attention to all of it and shit, and I stopped.
Couldn't sleep one night.
I seen like what was it? Like maybe a year or two ago. I got my Facebook memories like last Friday or Saturday. I made a post where I'm fucking like I was done with the window cleaning community a couple years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
I left all the fucking groups. I've never went back. It's just not like fucking. I'll let you guys jerk each other off.
I don't mind YouTube finding somebody cool or like something useful. Like maybe I'm like I haven't thought of something and I can check it out and then be like. Yeah. And sometimes you get someone who thinks of something simple and you're like, I never thought of that.
It's just always some dude on there like I got fucking 17 crews of 5 guys out working fucking 24 hours a day, fucking boo. Like, cool,
I
bro.
saw last week.
You know what I mean? Like, cool, bro. Yeah.
You
know, like dudes like, let's, for instance, like Joshua Shoaf. You don't see Joshua Shoaf do that.
No.
You don't see Josh Shoaf do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Josh Shoaf is fucking, if anyone could do that, it would be Josh. He could get on there and be like, I'm doing all of this. But Josh don't do that. He just makes fucking moves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, dude. Jake Camaro posted a video, and he's standing in front of this building. Nice little 2, maybe 3-story building. It was no bigger than 3. It was probably 2, but it could have been 3. And he goes, what people need to understand is to have a large company like mine, we can throw 5 guys at a job and get it done in 2 days. That's the difference between my company and a lot of others. So he's got a video.
I could pull up on the same job by myself, make all the fucking money and do it in the same amount of time.
The weekend before, we did that 12-story that I've put pictures up of, but I don't anymore, of pressure cleaning and window cleaning. 3 guys. We did the entire building, completely rinsed it down, washed every fucking window. We started at 7 a.m. and we were done at 5 p.m. And I'm like, this motherfucker's got 5 guys on a job that I could probably do. Me and you, TJ, could do that shit by lunch.
Yeah.
We'd be eating lunch laughing about the motherfucker.
Yeah.
And he's telling us he could put 5 guys on a job. Now, there's one thing. If you're making enough money to pay 5 guys really good money and turn a big profit,
then more good on you. Good on you.
Good on you. One of those 2 things is not happening. You have a triangle where you get to pick. A lot of guys at shit pay, good profit. A lot of guys at good pay, shitty profit. A lot of guys bad pay, good profit. Either way, you're fucking someone over to get it.
Right.
And I think the problem. Listen, I like Jay, and I don't want him to come on here and be a fucking flip out.
I'm not
what I'm saying is like he got a coach, and that was a death sentence because the coach does not. Here's the thing: they'll give you strategies and plans, but they always preach like manpower. And I'm like, yeah, experienced manpower, you're correct. But just throwing dum-dums at a problem is never going to build a sustainable business where you're a Hawkeye watching all day long, every day.
It's just, and you know, maybe it's just me. I could be looking at this wrong, but all right, for instance, the pressure washing community and the window cleaning community. What other communities do you see coaches?
Yeah.
Do you see fucking any of these fucking slick-haired fucking goofy motherfuckers like, I'm the fucking business coach for carpenters? No, motherfucker, because you get hit in the head with a fucking hammer.
Right.
Only fucking pressure washers and window cleaners need fucking business coaches. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
The fuck out of here.
The problem is a lot of people don't want to do this thing called doing research. And I hate to break it to you, YouTube and Google are free. The library is free. And you can actually go, here's my goddamn problem, and then find tons of resources, read all of it, and you can figure it out because you're not a dum-dum.
It's very predatory practice. It's predatory practice.
I'm going to tell you a conversation I had with Jay, and I'm not bad-mouthing Jay. I like Jay at IWC.
I like Jay, too.
Yeah, he come up to me.
Work differently.
And we had great conversation. And he says to me, my father knows this guy, and we've sat and talked with him. He wants to make an investment in the company. And I'm like, okay. And I go, okay, what's the money going to be used for? And he goes, well, it'd be a huge marketing budget. TJ, you know me. I don't believe in that marketing thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not of your generation of window cleaners, right? So I go, okay. And
I don't have any marketing dollars per se. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah, but you do the Instagram and all. I know that's free.
Yeah, I do. My promotion is self-promotion. I mean, nobody. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna sell me like I'm gonna sell me. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So
buying fucking yard signs and sticking them on every corner of every fucking intersection in town, it just doesn't work. Nobody notices that shit. They're too busy driving to go get a fucking cheeseburger or shit faced. They don't give or in a rush to work. Oh, let me jot down this Christmas lights for 419. Oh fuck. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Like missing me with that dumbass bullshit.
Well, he says
get a Google listing and shut the fuck up. Answer your phone.
I don't know what kind of money the guy was willing to put up. I didn't get that conversation. But he goes, but for that, we have to pay him back, and he's got a stake in the company, meaning a decision making. Ooh. And I go, that's where it goes off the rails for me personally.
Yeah.
Okay, but I go, so you're going to take all this money and throw it at marketing and buy some more equipment, and maybe hire a couple guys that'll help with that? Yeah.
You know how many fucking rags you can buy with that money?
If someone come to me and says, I want a stake in your company, I'm going to put up $150,000. You know what?
Buy a whole fucking container of fucking
Squeegee like rags for that money. I'm going to buy every fucking competitor I have in my area. I'm going to buy them fucking out. I'm going to buy an entire area. And guess what? In 30 days, I got instant revenue. Yeah. Instant fucking money.
People don't look at that shit. People don't look at shit like that because that makes the most sense. What you said makes the most fucking sense. So I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna buy all these fucking flyers and fucking all this fucking. I'm gonna hire this SEO guy, and you just take the fucking money and go buy the work. Just go buy the fucking work.
And I'm gonna find a guy that's got $5,000 a month in recurring storefronts and go, hey, I'm gonna give you 50 G's to walk the fuck away and introduce me to your customers. He'll go, goodbye. Here you go. Boom. At the end of the month, I got 5 G's coming. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that makes much more sense. I mean, if you're gonna roll the dice on adding someone in your company like that, you should at least, like, at the very least, take that money. Buy the work, buy someone's fucking route, buy someone's portfolio. Right. That way, if there's a fucking wash in the business relationship, like, here, take this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can have this. Yeah. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, to me, unless someone's giving you $300,000-$400,000, I mean,
what are you doing?
He's told the family for 30 years, right? I'd take a HELOC loan out before I get a business partner. I'd rather pay the 7-8% on 150 grand than give someone a stake in my business for the rest of my life.
Right, a decision-making power. Yeah.
You have to give me $500,000. You want to?
This is Jay. This is Jay Camaro. Wasn't it his dad's company at one point, and he took it over?
I think it's still his dad's. He works with them. It's John's window cleaning.
Yeah, they've owned it for a long time, though. Like,
why would he consider doing that? I mean, whatever work. Like I said, I don't want this to turn in. I don't want nobody to get the impression that we're shitting on Jay. I'm not. If it works for Jay, it works for Jay. I'm not. We're in good standing with Jay. I've got no problem with it.
For him. You know what I mean? Like, he's still working.
But it is.
I mean, all this time he's still doing shit. You know what I mean?
It still confuses me though that he would. I don't know why he would do that. It's yours. Why would you do that?
Right.
Especially being like known for that long in an area, like it's a really big name, you know. Or I mean,
I'll tell you what. I worked for the same guy that I learned how to do high rise with. His name was Rick. I'll leave it at that. We're still okay to this day. You know, I didn't particularly care for a lot of things he did, but he was giving me a paycheck. One day I'm cleaning a building, and he comes driving up onto the fucking sidewalk. And he goes, I didn't know you had this job. I go, I got this one. I got the one across the street. I got all that. He goes, I'm going to buy your business. And I go, okay. And he's like, okay. I go, yeah. I go, what's the catch? He goes, you got to come work for me. I go, I did that already. I said, and we left in good terms. I said, I'll give you a year. I'll give you a year. You're going to put me on salary. I'll give you a year. I said, don't bullshit me. Let's go to lunch right now and we'll shake a deal. I go, and you buy this motherfucker. I don't care. He's like, what are you going to be doing? I go, bitch, I'll be washing windows tomorrow.
I'll be somewhere else, cuz.
Right. I won't touch these accounts, but I'll be your neighbor, motherfucker. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't. It just seems weird to me that Jay would even consider that.
That's what he told me.
It seems weird. I mean, I would just try to get the capital myself if you need it. Yeah. And even if you were paying a 10 or 15% interest rate on it, to me, that's worth
more peace of mind anyway.
Dude, you know what? I'll tell you what my dad did, Seth. And my dad was always small business, but he knew of a route that was for sale, 80 fucking grand. 80 grand in his area. And it was well established for 15 to 20 years. And I was working with him at the time. He's like, what do you think? I go, 80 fucking grand, man. That's a big roll of dice. He goes, he wants all cash. And I'm like, well, I would too. And he goes, if you guarantee me we're going to keep this work, he goes, I'll get a 6-month guarantee from him that it's all viable. He goes, I'll take the money out of the house. And I'm like, well, it makes sense on paper when we figured out how much his mortgage, the payment on the note was, and how much revenue the work produced, as long as it was what he said, which had to have a 6-month guarantee. Okay. And he could pay himself back. He could pay back the loan and still pay labor and still have a decent profit. And in 5 years, when the note's paid, it's all yours. And it worked. But he didn't go to an outside source that's going to say, first of all, a bank won't lend money on window cleaning unless it's contracted. And then,
the best part about owning a home is that you become your own bank.
Right.
If you do it smart, I mean, for me, it's a little different. It would be a lot harder to do that, convincing my wife, like, hey, let's make our mortgage higher so I can buy window cleaning shit. So, but I do think, in general, being able to bankroll yourself is way more valuable.
I mean, 10 years ago or so, okay, I took personal money, $25,000, and put it into my company. And I went to my accountant, and he's like, "You're going to write a promissory note to yourself from the company to yourself, and you're going to pay yourself back. You can get 6% interest on your money." And I did, and it worked out. I paid myself back with 6% interest. I'm not getting 6% of my money sitting in the bank. You understand what I'm saying? It's legal. Yeah, I fund my own shit. Now I don't have the liquid anymore since I've kind of tightened things up, but still. If it needs to happen, it needs to happen.
Sometimes that happens in a business. Like, right, you have the liquid, then you buy all this shit, you don't have it for a little while.
Right.
You get back to a spot, you can get liquid again.
Right. Yeah.
I'm kind of in that thing. I was just liquid, and then I just bought a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
It's like,
you're going out on another adventure.
Things were happening, I was like, screw it.
Yeah.
Let's just buy new shit.
Who better to invest in yourself?
Yeah. I mean, we took out loans on the truck and stuff like that, but they're going to be paid off next year. Like, I already got rid of so much advertisement. I mean, I'm not lying, I spend close to 6 figures a year in advertisement, or was.
See, I can't wrap my head around that, Seth. Yeah. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I looked at it like
it built my business fast. Yeah. I got to a number quick, and now I don't need the advertisement anymore.
Because you're going to grow naturally, organically through your clients. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to choke out somebody, and I choked them out. There was a local guy here, and I choked him out. He's gone. Yeah. He's done. See you later. Yeah. And it let us build our power washing clientele, which has turned into like roof cleaning and driveway cleaning and other stuff. So now I have these people on a 2-year rotation. I'm like, I don't need anything but Google now. So all the money that I was going to use for advertisement, I'll just use to pay off a bunch of stuff to get liquid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was. To be honest with you, I haven't put an additive in chlorine in a year. I just let chlorine do the work. Mm-hmm. I don't put surfactants and shit anymore.
I just found that it seemed to be a waste to me personally.
It's the only reason I might put a little bit in is just so I can see the change.
It's surfactants or surfactants or whatever, however you want to say it. All that shit is just so dudes that used to pressure wash can pressure wash less. That's all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Buy my shit. You know what I mean? Like the same way with all these business
work, but surfactants nothing.
These business coaches. Not. It's just the dudes. Listen, man. It's just some dudes that don't want to work real hard. You know what I mean? Like they see an industry with a minimal fucking like knowledge, fucking entry level knowledge base and money base to get into, and they're fucking lazy inherently. Well, so they're like, let me figure out a way to make money off these other fucking guys that like to work hard.
If you want to see some stuff, like if you want to just see a little bit of stuff, go to the dollar store, grab a bottle of LA Awesome, and I have a 50-gallon tank. I'll dump that in there just so I can see the transition when I'm going from rinse to soap. I'm like, all right, cool, I got soap. I'm good. That's it.
KD, have you ever watched? He says, KD says,
you dump LA Totally Awesome in with fucking bleach.
LA Totally Awesome is a degreaser. You can dump that shit right in with bleach.
You can put. It doesn't hurt the bleach. I've never done.
Nothing happened. It's a buck.
It's the cheapest degreaser money can buy. Yeah.
It has all the same stuff. If you look at that, if you look at the percentages between expensive degreaser, it's like 2% off.
Yeah.
And it's like a third of the goddamn price.
Yeah.
You can wipe gutters with that.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
A gallon of purple stuff is like $40 nowadays.
Listen, bro.
I dumped $1 worth of LA Awesome in there. Dude. See you later.
I made. Listen, bro. Listen. I made. Listen. I made fucking $675 fucking dollars in 3 fucking hours. Brightening gutters with LA Totally Awesome. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you, dude. I spent $2 and made that much money. I just fucking took the bottle, fucking dumped half of it in a Zep spray bottle, filled the rest of it. So I cut it in half, too. By the way, I also cut it in half. Put it in a Zep bottle, walked up, just sprayed every one of them, hit it with a fucking brush real good, rinsed it off with a fucking hose. Shit looked brand new.
Brand new. I'll tell you what I did. I had a college campus, and it had the science building, and they're like, it had stone sidewalks, and it had, I've never heard of this, maybe you have, it was called a live building. The building captured all its rainwater for the toilets.
I've seen those before, yeah.
It had a live roof with plants and trees growing on it. It had solar panels. And I show up.
It's a novel idea.
Right. I show up with a fucking trailer load of chlorine.
Yeah, baby.
As soon as they smelled it, they shut me down, right? So I go, okay. I go, you realize I got to kill this, right? And they're like, we don't want any chlorine. This is a green building. I shut down. I go to Home Depot. I buy 3-gallon jugs of Fabuloso, that shit that smells like you stick your face in a plant. I dumped. It was so much Fabuloso, it didn't, like, you know, you put a chemical in chlorine and it loses its color. That shit was still purple. So we start spraying down the Fabuloso. It's still killing. You know, there's still enough bleach to kill the green. And dude, the dean walks out, and I'm like, okay. And he goes, man, I really appreciate you stopping the bleach. I go, yeah, we're using, you know, a green chemical here. He goes, and it smells amazing.
Listen, dude, people are gonna watch this back later. Like, they're saying bleach and not fucking sodium hypochlorite, bro. It's fucking bleach.
You don't know what it means. 12.5% bleach, chlorine, whatever. You bleach. Lie to your customer about what the hell it is.
Yeah.
When I tell my customers, like, they're like, how do you get my house like that? I'm like, I just use Pool Shock. They're like, Pool Shock? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, is that okay? I was like, I mean, has it been okay the last 3 times I've done it? She's like, well, yeah, it's never been an issue. I'm like, well, then, yeah, you're good. As long as you ain't got a Japanese maple on the property, everything's fine. You know what I mean? She's like, well, she's like, well, I called the guy last year to look at the roof, and he's like shouting all these big names and all this shit. I was like, he could tell you whatever he wants. It's bleach. It's fucking pool chlorine. Right. That's all it is.
It's just Magnum on there's mold on your roof, and we're gonna clean it off for you. Nobody gives a shit. But if you feel like you need to justify your price by saying sodium hypochlorite, then you do you, boo thing. But I'm gonna go fucking Pool Shock, son.
I never say the B word.
And I asked the question, which is you don't say the B word, was what is the difference between sodium hypochlorite and pool chlorine? They were shooting arrows at me. Like, you're never supposed to say that. I'm like, is there a difference? Because
there is no the reason they think it's a secret fucking society where they're the only ones, like, we're the only ones that can know that we're spraying fucking Clorox on everything. So we call it sodium hypochlorite. You don't want your customers to know.
Dude,
no, listen, you fucking retards. The only reason why they're fucking calling you is 1, because they got fucking money. 2, because they don't want to fucking do it. And 3, because they're going to hire some fucking goofball like you to fucking do it. You ain't got to church it up and send your techs over to spray sodium hyperchloride all over everything, you fucking goofballs.
Right, right.
Jesus Christ.
It's funny. People don't say bleach. If you can't explain to a customer why you're using bleach, I just go,
who do you work for?
What's in your town drinking water? How do we keep the town drinking water clean?
Right.
Bleach.
Yeah. Who do you work for? What is the type of fucking customer? What is the class of people that you fucking work for, Seth? The homes that you work in, what kind of people are those?
Rich people?
Yes.
They're not people that are walking on their roof.
Yes, you are not going to call some dude to come fucking clean your windows. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a certain clientele that we cater to. They don't do it because there's only one reason why they call us, because they don't want to fucking do it. Right. It's not because they don't know how. It's because they don't want to. I have a dude. I've told this story on this podcast 100 fucking times. I got a guy that I clean windows for 20 fucking years. This guy owns just about every hotel in fucking town. This guy, okay, and he straight up tells me, he's like, anybody can clean a window, Terry. He goes, you think that I can't clean a window? Look at me. He goes, what am I, stupid? He goes, can I do it as quickly as you? Probably not. He goes, I don't call you because I don't know how to clean windows. I call you because I don't want to do it.
Right. Exactly.
I don't want to do it. I want to go ride in my fucking boat. I'm like, I totally understand what you're saying. You know what I mean? Right. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it is, guys. How
about this? I'm just going to lay on the ground and kick me right in the teeth.
Yes, dude.
Well,
dude.
To be honest, though, I'm starting to get past that generation that knows how to fucking do anything. I'm starting to work for 40s and 50s, and they're like, I have fucking no idea.
I don't know.
A ladder? Like
40s and 50s, nah, man.
Ever. I'm like, and people will be like, you're only here 15 minutes and there was nothing in the gutters. I go, you didn't pay me to take shit out of the gutters. You paid me to get up on your roof. Yeah. That's what you paid me to do because your ass was unwilling to get up
That's
there.
What I tell them, too.
He goes, so if there was more stuff in there, do I get more money? And they go, no. I go, okay, so we played a game of chicken and I won. So,
right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I had a lady, she owned a fucking 2-story house. Sweet 6'12", I'm just 6'12" pitch. I mean, you could play basketball on this bitch. You know what I mean? It was just cruising. Wow. 2 runs of fucking gutters. $250. That's my base. $250.
It's a good base.
Over the phone. 2 stories, $250. Why they got 1 gutter? $250. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, and the person that got me on that was Luke the window cleaner. He goes, this is, my price is different than his, but he's like, I got a base. He goes, 2 stories is this, 1 story is this, no matter what. I don't care what it is. You're paying me to get on your roof. And I never looked at it that way before. Until he said that. You're not paying me for the poundage that I get out of the fucking gutters. You're paying me to get up there because you can't or you won't.
Right.
And that's what it's worth to me to climb on your fucking roof.
Right. Is it worth you cracking your fucking skull open for fucking $200?
People get so mad at me.
You want to be fucking feet? You want to be feet in the air in a fucking bush, or do you want me to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
I think it's funny, man. You learn a lot about who people are. Some lady's like, "Oh, you cheated me." I was like, what? He's like, you walked my roof with a leaf blower. I go, so? Your ass would have fell off the roof and died doing what I just did.
Right.
I go, just because I have the ability to do it and I did it in 10 minutes and I videotaped it and sent you, I go, I can clean this out by hand and there's going to be shit in it.
Well, I told you guys last year, this lady fucking calls me once her gutter's done. I go do her fucking gutter. She's got fucking pond reeds. You know what I'm talking about, right? The fucking... Yeah. Growing in her fucking gutter. So I pull out literally probably 500 pounds of shit out of all this woman's gutters. I'm not kidding. At least 500 pounds of shit out of her gutters. She calls me 2 weeks later. She's like, I've got water standing in the end of my gutter and I can see a little bit of stuff from the roof. The little pebbles from the roof in my gutters. I thought you cleaned them. I was like, I did clean them. I was like, but you got your gutter is not pitched right. You got 1 down on 60 foot of gutter. Yes, like 60, maybe 75 foot. I can't remember. It's a good stretch, but it's only got 1 fucking downspout on this huge ass run of fucking gutters instead of 1 on this one end and 1 on that end. And I asked her, I said, listen, when I bid the job, I was like, I'm going to have to bring a lift in here because the way it's situated, I mean, this thing's like 36, 37 feet in the air, and it's just like half of that run, there's a fucking short roof in front of, so it's like putting a ladder on. I'm not putting a ladder on a fucking, on a rubber membrane roof. That's not happening. I'm not tearing the roof up, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm just going to bring a boom in, do whatever. I said, while I'm up there, for an extra $50, I'll stick a downspout on that gutter for you. She turned me down flat. She's like, no way, that's too much. I'm like, all right, cool. So she calls about the exact problem I told her she was having. She tells me, she's like, I'm going to run my drone up there. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, because I'm going to show you pictures, because I checked your work with a drone. I'm like, okay. She's not called me back, but that's because I told her, I was like, I'm not coming back for that. It's standing full of water because there is not a downspout in it. I did drive past.
The roof shake is not
like, what do you want? What the fuck do you want me to do about that? Every time it rains, you're gonna have roof granule in your fucking gutters, lady.
Dude, the gutter in front of my house is a 90, and it's half of the garage, so it's 10 feet here, and I would say 20 feet this way, and that has 3 downspouts on it. 3.
You got 60, 70 feet, somewhere around in there. It might be, it might be in between there somewhere, but you got that much run of a fucking gutter. You got 1 downspout on it.
And if that bitch ain't pitched the right way,
it's not. I told her that.
Yeah.
I told her that. I was like, this is not pitched right. And unfortunately, it's those strapped gutters on an old, because it's a Victorian home, so it doesn't have regular fascia. It's got like a Roman OG. I don't know if you probably don't know what Roman OG is, but it's a face that you put on with a router, but it's got Roman OG on the end of it, and so the gutter just sits on the flat part of the Roman OG, and then it's got the round part that goes down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Well, it's got those strap-arounds that go underneath the shingles. I can't pull that fucking shit out of there.
That's probably the only reason it was able to hold 500 fucking pounds.
Yeah, well, yeah.
My shit would rip off.
It's a slate roof. It's a slate roof. I was like, there's only so. I told her. This was done improperly when they repaired your roof. She put a new slate roof on this house.
Yeah.
So she's got money, but it was done incorrectly. That's what I told her from the very beginning. This gutter was not pitched right. The only solution is putting a downspout on there. Yeah. Like I was saying, I drove past her about 3 weeks ago. She's got a downspout in that corner now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Better than most. That's all I can say. I'm better than most. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Better than most. You know what I mean? Hey. It's common sense. Common sense solutions for common sense problems. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going to be honest, man. I had like maybe 2 years ago, I had a little bit of a... I have my 32 foot ladder. I think it's 32 feet. Is that right? 32?
Yeah, I make a 32, 36, and a 40.
It was a 32. I had the 32 out, stretched all the way out, and I got up on this fucking roof. And as I was getting off, the ladder kicked out and fucking fell down. And the homeowner had to stand the ladder back up for me so I could get back down.
Yeah. You're lucky you weren't on it.
Yeah. And that's what flashed in my head. And he told me, and I've done his windows every year since, twice a year. But he told me, he's like, you know what, Terry? He goes, I don't think those windows really need done that bad.
Yeah.
I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He goes, I don't want you to hurt yourself over windows. He said, if they need done that bad, he goes, I'll just move all that stuff out from in front of that window, and you could just crank out the one window and go out there and do it. He goes, no more ladder. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
If I can avoid getting on one, I do. I don't care what nobody thinks about it. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I don't care. I mean,
maybe working by yourself, man.
Well, even if either way, I don't care. I work by myself, and I'm always on. Cool, good for you, man. That's why you're the best, and I'm not. Yep. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, good for you, man. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you like to be on a ladder all day, but. I was raised to work smarter, not harder. You know what I mean? And my grandfather always taught me that it's good to use what's in between your ears. You know what I mean? So,
right.
You know what I mean? If I want to bust out a pole on a job that I've been doing a long time, I know it's going to turn out good, that's what I'm going to do. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not, mind you, if the job requires me getting on a ladder to get it done, I'm going to get on the ladder to get it done. I'm going to get in the lift if it needs, that's what it needs to get it done. You know what I mean? But if I could do it from the fucking ground and it's going to look fucking cherry, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to make the most money. Why wouldn't you do it that I'm going to make the most money as quickly and safely as possible. Oh no, maybe I should get a business coach. Fuck it. Yeah, fucking ball ass motherfuckers, man. Like, I'll send my techs over right now. We'll spread all the sodium hypochlorite. Here's my fucking pressure washing coach. PressureWashingMoney.com. Doody.
I'm going to disagree with a little bit of this.
What?
If I met a guy that built a 7-figure business that was tremendously profitable, I would consider talking with him or paying him as a coach. But I wouldn't pay a coach that's not a window cleaner, and hasn't. Most of these guys that are coaching, in my opinion, from what I've seen, are not successful fucking people. Right? That's like a fat fuck like one of us teaching people how to diet.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
You guys will learn how to fucking diet. Send a fucking email to asksqueegee@gmail.com. I'll show you the diet that works for me. Right. I'm the picture of fucking health, baby.
It's very rare that if you have a 7-figure business that you're going to leave that to go coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I you know, it's awfully odd to me that, like I said, you don't see fucking plumbing business coaches. You know what I mean? The amount of dudes that are trying to make money off of dudes in the service industry is fucking gross. And it's super weird to me that guys like street level dudes, you know what I mean, blue collar dudes can't notice a buzzard flying over their fucking corpse. Like, come on, bro. How can you not notice that this fucking
some people
goofy,
get desperate, man.
This guy helped me out so much. He calls me on the telephone. He's my friend.
Dude, I told you the story early podcast.
Ding dong.
I met a kid. A kid meaning I was probably
whatever you guys are paying those fucking business coaches, I'll charge you a quarter of that. I'll just call you and make you feel good about yourself. You're doing a great job, buddy.
Yeah, good job.
You know what you should do? You should hire more people and start fucking trying to get more work. Man, that's a great idea.
There are people. Look, TJ, you've been successful for what you're doing. Seth, you the same, and me for the same. There are people that don't. There are people that don't belong in fucking business, and they usually fail. I met a kid one time.
Is it really business, Mark, or is it just people that are just not ever going to be, just like even going and punching a clock is difficult for some?
Yeah,
you know you're right. You know what I'm saying?
It's just not for everybody.
Yeah.
Look, I met this kid years ago in Orlando. They had it was a safety training thing. Stephen Bright. I went there. And I met this kid named Scott. And he was a few years younger than me. And we just hit it off. Nice kid, right? So he goes to me, oh, I've heard of your company. You've been around a long time. Yeah. And he goes, well, we're pretty much residential, so we're not competitors. I'm like, we're cool, you know? And he calls me about a month later, and he says, can you bring a couple guys and give me a hand? We got this huge house, and we're struggling with it. And I go, absolutely. I told him what I wanted for the day, and he agreed. I get there, and there's 2 employees there, and Scott is not there, right? So I go, where's Scott? And he goes, I was still heavily working on my company. I don't work as hard as I used to, but I'm out every day. I go, where's Scott? The guy goes, Scott. I go, well, the owner. He goes, you don't wash windows. And I'm like, really? And he goes, he's running the office. I go, how many employees do you have? Well, it's me and him, too. I go, what the fuck is he doing in the office? You know what I'm saying? Like, what needs to be running?
Nothing. He's doing nothing.
Moving papers from one side of the desk to the other. What
the fuck he's fucking having the secretary give him a fucking handy or some shit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
But I'm always insecure about certain things, so I'm going, what am I doing wrong? You know what I'm saying? This guy's been in business for a year. I've been in business at this point for 10. And this motherfucker ain't washing no windows, right? So he goes, dude, it wasn't a year. He called me up and he goes, I'm getting out. He goes, this didn't work out for me.
Right.
I go, dude, We went to lunch, and I said, I'm pretty enamored that you're able to sit in an office all day and have two guys produce enough money to support you, this little warehouse you rented, the trucks, and everything. And I go, I'm impressed. Well, it tanked. Daddy put up some money. He bought a shit ton of squeegees and mops and everything else, rented a small warehouse. He calls me up and he goes, you want to buy my shit? And I go, what, your business? He goes, no, my equipment. I go, yeah, I'll buy what you got. I went down there. This kid was anal. He had pegboard on the wall. Sorbo, 6, 8, 10, 12. Sorbo, pivot handle, 6, 8, 10, 12. Unger. Dude, he had 500 squeegees. I'm not lying to you. He goes to me, I'll give you everything for half of what I paid for it. The shit, he got a lot from Racenstein. They put a barcode sticker on it.
Still on it.
Yes. They were still on it.
Yeah.
I go, I'll tell you what, let me go to the bank. I'll be right back. I come back and I go, all I could take out of the pocket bank was $1,000 in one day. I go, so I got $1,000. I start throwing shit into a plastic, one of those drums, the food. Let me know when I'm at $2,000 worth of equipment, and I'll give you $1,000 for it. I kept loading shit. I'm looking at him going, this motherfucker ain't stopping me.
Right.
I ended up walking out of there when I did a rough estimate with about $4,200 worth of equipment for $1,000. I bought everything you fucking had. Just wanted to get out.
Yeah.
But some people.
If you want like a good example of fucking business growth, look no further than Joshua Schoaf or Seth Byers. Perfect example of how to grow a business. If that's what you're looking to do, those are two guys to pick their brains. And I'm fairly certain that you could probably get some information out of either one of them if you just ask nicely. You know what I'm saying? Well, not Seth anymore. But
you can ask nicely.
But you know what I mean? Like, you don't. So I just, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with doing that either. It just, I have a hard time with people as it is. And to then be in charge of people's, like, I can barely be in charge of meeples. You know what I mean? Let alone people's.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Fuck. So it's like, I just, it might work for some and it won't work for others. Like, there's a guy, like I told you, the guy that cleans windows and uses paper towels instead of shop rags or anything. He uses paper towels for all his detailing and shit.
Yeah.
That dude's been cleaning windows for 40 fucking years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By himself. You know what I'm saying? He stopped me actually this summer and he's like, I was like, hey, he's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, hey, how you doing? I gave him a tip jar. One of the first ones I got that had the seam kind of let go on it, on the bolt loop seam, and I just kind of riveted it together is what I did. I just riveted the motherfucker. And I gave it to him to try out. He's still using that very same one.
Yeah,
it's one of these. Yeah. It's one of these without the loop on the front. You know what I mean? It's the older style. And he's like, "Hey man, I love this thing." He goes, "I don't know how much longer I got, man." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Whew." I was like, "Well, when you're on your way out, make sure you give him my phone number." You know what I mean? And he's like,
"Yeah."
He goes, "I'll sell it to you." I was like, "Nah, I'll just wait for you to retire." He goes, and you know what he says to me? He goes, "Good on you, because that's what I would." He goes, "That's what I would do too." He goes, "If I'm not cleaning up, somebody's gonna have to." You know what I mean? So he's got the storefront game is on lock around here. It's tough to get a storefront job around here. He's got him hemmed up. You know what I mean? He's been doing it a long time. You know what I mean? He's
30, 40 years will get you that.
Yeah, man. He's got a lot. And that's why I don't really advertise a whole bunch, because I'll like go in like cold call on people. Like, here's my card, I'll do it for this much around here. Because I feel like I may run into one of his jobs, and I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? I'm not the green guy, green car guy. I'm not that dude that try to fucking cut people's fucking heads off. This lady hits me up. Speaking of that, fucking this dude like fucking takes over this work and shit. This lady calls me. She's like, I did her house last year, and it's the first time I had ever cleaned her windows before. She called me. I came out, gave her an estimate. she was texting me over the phone. She's like, yeah, go ahead and do it whenever you want. I did the house. She paid me. She called me this year, and she's like, hey, I'm thinking about having them done inside and out. Can you give me a price? So I give her a price. It's like $750 inside and out. It's a pretty decent ticket for a home inside and out around this area. You know what I mean? That's on the upper end of things around in my area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she goes, I don't know if, she goes, the reason why I asked you, she goes, I want you to do the outside whenever you can. Like, you could do it right now if you want. She goes, I'll give you cash right now. I was like, I can't do it right now. Whatever. Those are my favorite ones, is I'll give you cash right now. Those are usually the jobs I like to focus on. I'll give you cash right now, people. Yeah. But, she's like, the reason why I'm asking, she goes, because I think next spring I'm going to have you do them inside and out. She goes, I'm having all my carpet pulled out of the house, and I thought maybe I could have you come in and take everything apart and clean everything, deep clean everything good. And I was like, well, we're going to talk about another price. She's like, oh, she goes, I totally understand. She's got the removable grates and all that shit. And she's talking about, like, I want all the windows cranked out and everything fucking whoop-de-whooped. And I'm like, yeah, we can charge you more for that. And she's like, well, the reason why I'm asking you is, one, I want to be ready and see if your price is fair. She goes, but two, she goes, so-and-so. And I'm like, yeah. She goes, I called them. And they're like, well, we own the company now. And he's like, if you give us your name, I'll be able to tell you how much the window cleaning is. And she's like, my name's so-and-so. And he's like, oh, well, it's like fucking almost 4 times what the last company. I mean, dude, when I say, dude, I'm talking like fucking $2,800.
Yeah.
Is that, like, what do you, they must be doing that because they don't want to do it, right?
Yep.
That's got to be,
I mean,
right?
at that point, it's egregious. If you went up like 20% or 15%,
but
I guess.
Like 4 times. 4 times than what he charged before. Or what the company before. He's either
incompetent or he doesn't want the work.
It's got to be, he doesn't want the residential part of the business. And he's kind of just like shooting.
See, they're looking at that, crazy. Or he's like if I can keep 1 of 6 customers at the new price, I'm making the same money I was doing those.
Like, I got a house. I got a house on the island that I do that they used to do, and now he like shot him a price, and I'm like, this dude is like I charge like, and it would be simple work for me. It's just inside and out of this house. It's probably around $550. This dude's wanting to charge you fucking $1,700. Like, I don't, she's like, she goes, is that ridiculous? I was like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, what I'm charging you, I'm making out gangbusters. You know what I mean? Like, I'm making well over $100 an hour on this job. I'm going to be completely honest, totally transparent. I'm making well over $100 an hour doing this job. You know what I mean? Like, but I've been cleaning windows for 20 years. So, me cleaning a house versus some dude that's been doing it 2 years, he's probably going to be there twice as long as me. You know what I mean?
You're going to move his bed in.
I'm going to do 2 or 3 of those bitches by myself in a day. I do it all summer long. Don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do that.
I'm going to tell you something, though, that I've learned
over the years. That just seems so crazy to me, that price.
I've seen guys that have been cleaning as long as you and still have no fucking clue how to get a job done.
Yeah.
They just don't.
People don't know how to compartmentalize, man. They just are like, wander around, go to the truck, come back. I've worked with people like that. I'm like, how do you get anything done? You don't work while you're at work. You're just like grabbing a towel.
Dude, there isn't a coffee.
When I go to a job, say a residential job, when I go to a fucking residential job, I pull up to the fucking house and I know instantly what I'm getting off the truck to get inside of the house, and the next time I come outside of the house is to fucking do the outside of the house. You know what I mean? I'm in it to win it. Once I go in, I'm going in till I'm done. If I need to bring my squeeze bottle with me to, get my washer a little juicy to keep going, that's what I do. Yeah. The back and forth, like some people, I just don't understand it, man. I don't get it, dude. I do not get it.
They make it into a huge project.
Yeah, it's not.
I think people overcomplicate it.
Let me get up my technical blueprints, because I am a technician. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. And the 2 new window guys around here that have popped up don't do insides. I don't know what this new trend of like not.
That's a new thing.
That's a lot of times pressure washers that buy a water fed system call themselves a window cleaner.
No, these guys are strictly just a window cleaning company, man. I looked up their website. They're young, and I think a lot of them are like afraid of the liability of going inside someone's home. And I'm like, man,
you're taking 50%.
I go into people's houses, kick their fucking nightstands over, and their fucking lamps hit the floor, and
my dirty shoes stomp around on your white carpet. I'm like, what's up, son?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Yo, Mario, what's up, brother?
Mario. Yeah, I've noticed that too, Seth. It does seem like a trend.
I think kids are getting talked out of it by watching YouTube videos and being like, you can avoid it. I'm like, man, like there's no better way to solidify yourself with a customer. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you say you only do outside, and they want inside done, they're going to call a different company.
Yeah.
Or guys who won't do storm windows no more.
Yeah.
I get it if you're a one-man guy and you're like, man, I just really don't want to do fucking storm windows. But if you have like 2, 3, 4 of you, I'm like, why are you not? I don't understand.
Well, even for me, to be quite honest, like if I see like a job like that with storm windows or something, I'm just going to price it accordingly. And not only am I going to price it accordingly, I'm going to set expectations for the customer. So like, I might not get this done in one day. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? There's a good chance that I'm going to take this all apart, clean the windows, clean the insides, and just leave the outsides for later. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean? You know, I actually have a job that I do that takes me fucking 2 6-hour days to complete. You know what I mean? It's that big. Man. There's that many fucking storm windows on this bitch.
The one with that kid Mike, it was $8,200 window cleaning because every single window. This is like an old 1903 house. You had to take the storms off from outside.
Oh wow!
Like big wooden custom built ones, and then the glass on the house was curved. Like in the corners, the glass was like curved around the corner of the house.
Oh,
so, like,
no shit!
Yeah, dude, like you couldn't open the window, so like. I'm trying to take this curved glass, and Mike's like, what the hell are you doing, man? I'm like in a bush. And we were there Mike actually came out and helped us pretty good. I think we were there like 3.5 days. Yeah. So Mike helped us one day, and the other 2 days were just me and my brother. But, man, you hit that day 3 in like July, you're like, man, I hate this.
Dude, I'll tell you this, man, like most people that have houses like that, they know what they've got. You know what I mean? Like that dude with the presidential pillows that I just did. I was telling you guys about last week. That one, like he knew what he had. You know what I mean? He knew. He's like, yeah, he knew.
Yeah, these people didn't care. They had a house manager. This was their summer house from 30 minutes away. And I went in that guy's office. He's probably in his 80s. Pictures with like the Bush family and the Clinton. And like, signed like, Brian, you're a great guy. I was like, all right, this guy did something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Service or something.
I don't know one dude on TikTok, to be quite honest with you, and I could just be missing him, but I don't see another dude on TikTok besides Tim Huber that shoots the inside of fucking windows on TikTok. You see Tim do a lot of interiors. You don't see a lot of these dudes doing interiors. You know, these TikTok dudes. I've noticed that as well, James. You don't see a lot of dudes doing
that. Tim's a good residential window cleaner. I have never seen any of his commercial videos, but residential wise, he's smooth.
I'm gonna tell you this. If you can clean windows, you can clean fucking windows. It doesn't matter what kind of windows it is. You know what I mean? Tim's a good window cleaner. There's no question Tim's a good window cleaner. He's money on a squeegee, but you know, some of these dudes, like, I just like, fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are we doing, dude?
It's a dying out skill, man. Like, these guys just buy water-fed poles now, and they're just like, I'm not. And I'm like, hell, man, I'm using it all the time too, but I'm like, you have to have the ability to do other things.
Yeah, you always got to be able to go back to basics. You always do. I don't care what anybody says.
Cold, if it's this temperature, it's this. You get to a first-time job.
I'm gonna say this:
you gotta go.
When I use my water-fed pole all day long, the next job I do in the morning is traditional. I appreciate it that much more. I just love my squeegees.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like, if I have a job where they want me to wash the screens, I'm not water-fed pulling that job because I have to get my ass up there anyways. You got
to take the screen down.
I'm like, if I got to take the screen down, what am I going to take them all down? Do it, water-fed pull, and then go. I'm like, at that point, I'm just wasting time.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a chip clip and hook it to my ladder.
I
shit on him.
I don't have a chip,
That guy.
but I have on a bungee that thing to hold the screen.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've stuck it in the ladder behind
I'll tell you this. I have a short piece of paracord and one of those little fucking hootie doos.
Snap clip. Yeah.
Snap clip that I hang screens from all the time. Chip.
I used to jam them behind in the ladder frame. Just let a corner hang.
Yeah. I do that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd step back and the screen would just be like, meh.
Or my old move was I would take the screen out and then I would slide it in between me and the ladder.
Oh, do fat guy move? Like lean against the ladder the whole time?
No. I'm saying I would fucking take the screen out and set it on my feet.
Yeah, put it in front of you. Yeah, I done that.
Yeah, set the screen on the tops of my foot, and it would lean up against the ladder, and I clean the window, pull it back.
I always feel like I work with 1 foot on one rung and 1 foot on the higher rung.
Oh, okay. I don't do that.
I feel like I work that way. I don't know why I do.
Yeah. Residential window cleaning to me, like inside and out window cleaning, and I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna peel some wigs back, but. Like, if you're doing only outsides, man, their customer's not fucking, like, they're not going to be happy at some point, they're not going to be happy with you. They're going to be like, you're doing a shitty job, you know, you only do the out, because a lot of the fucking funk is on the inside, they just don't realize it. No, you know what I mean? You're like,
or now you're even highlighting it more because you've removed all the dirt from the outside, so now all you can
When I talk to a potential customer on the phone, I tell them, you know what I mean, and I come and I, you know, go to the house, I, you know, bid the job, and I tell them straight. I give them an inside and out price whether they want it or not. I'm like, I only want you to do the outside. I just want you to know how much it's going to cost inside and out because it's going to look its best if it's done inside and out.
At least the first time.
Oh, I clean my own windows on the inside. I can walk up. I was like, yeah, well, I swirl glass with rags at home too. But what I'm saying is, when I get done, you're going to see what a professional window cleaning looks like, and you're going to notice the insides. You're going to notice it.
To change that to get people, if I go to a job and I know it's going to look bad, I do 70-30 split. 70% on the outside and then 30% for the inside, just to get them to do the inside. I'm like, look how much cheap. I mean, you only spend another $160.
Did you see what Mario just said?
The same way it was ever. I do 70-30 splits all day, son.
But, I mean... Just like recently, like I had a lady call me. She wanted me to. She's like, "Well, I only want the first floor done now." You know, and I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever." You know, she's never sent me her phone number, by the way, because I don't take you know, I'll take your phone call, and I'm like, "All right, well, my address." I'm like, "Listen, just text it to me or email it to me. I'm driving. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna." Try and jot down your fucking address while I'm, you know, I mean, I tell them straight up, I'm just one guy. Maybe I need a business coach so I can hire a secretary one day. I don't fucking know, but I'm just like, can you just shoot me a text, whatever. But like I was like, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a price for the first floor, and then I'm gonna give you a price for the inside and out, and then the outside only, and that way you know what you want to do in the future, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like. I don't know, man. You gotta shoot your shot, man. You know what I mean? You can't strike out if you never step up to the plate.
Right. Sometimes and if you're just they ask me to break out 3 or more prices, I never show up to look at it. If you're a pain in the ass for the quote, I don't want to do.
Well,
I want the garage.
They don't ask. She didn't ask for it. I offered it because I'm not a fucking rich fucking prick like you.
No, I'm saying the warning signs of a pain in the ass customer is when they go, well, can I get second floor outside only, first floor in and out pricing? I want the garage priced. Give me the screen. And I'm like, this is annoying. Just like, I don't want to go.
Man, it's not also tracks and frames. It's I will wipe your windowsill down. But if you're going through and cleaning the tracks out, I mean, I hope you're making fucking at least $20 to $25 an opening on a double hung for doing if you're doing some crazy ass detailing like that dude that used to watch the show all the time. His window cleaning name was fucking Very Detailed Window Cleaner. Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we're all, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does that even mean?
Let me ask this.
Dude?
What is your thing with this? If this goes up my ass,
what?
And I see it, I know you don't go to the window cleaning anymore.
Yeah, but...
And I don't blame you. I'm fixing to get out, too. I got in trouble with Charity Wilder because there's, on that Racenstein page, there's so many new, and I think, what do you call them, bots or something? Because, like, the names are so fucked up.
Yeah.
So it goes, let's welcome like 6 different names, and I go, you guys got to be careful. I said that guy's name 3 times, and the area rug in my room started flying around.
Oh, dude. Well, what was your what was you saying? What chaps your ass?
Well, okay, so
it's not the names. There's something they're doing.
Yeah. That was just the intro. But but they go. It's like this guy bid the house at $400. Mm-hmm. I was at $350, and they go, well, I guess they don't want quality. So let me ask you this, TJ. If I came to your house and cleaned your carpets, right? If you had carpet, and it wasn't clean, would you pay me?
No.
Okay. So if I clean your windows and they're not, so what is quality about?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or they're fucking dirty. That's all.
Well, to me, there's levels. There's levels to cleaning a fucking window frame. There's the obligatory wipe down, courtesy wipe, and then there's fucking taking a track brush and scrubbing
a screwdriver and getting
30 years worth of bullshit out of the windows. You know what I mean? And there's some guys that feel like if it ain't done that way, you ain't doing the right job. Well, fuck you, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here to clean your glass. I'm not here to fucking scrub your windowsills that have never been wiped in 40 years. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I mean, if with a water-fed pole brush clean enough, then we done. Yeah.
Right. There's limits to what I'm willing to do. You know what I mean? If you're inspecting, if you're taking the screen back out to look in the cracks right there, then that's a different price. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude.
I leave that dirt mush against that screen.
Motherfuckers can tell all the stories they fucking want. Everybody's the greatest window cleaner ever on fucking Facebook.
That's what I'll tell you. If you wipe the middle bar on the screen and you wipe that bottom frame on the screen, they're like, my screens look great. I'm like,
yeah.
That's wonderful, don't they?
Yeah, dude. Like,
it's like my dad. My dad would wipe the ledge and do the door and put a ticket. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just like I said, there's just some dudes just like the I'd say maybe 75% of the window cleaning community is the biggest fucking superhero on the glass, and they're the best ever, and we all know. Anyone that's been doing this for any amount of fucking time knows just as well as I do that that's bullshit.
Yep.
You're fucking lying. You're not doing that shit. You're just talking like you're doing that shit on fucking Facebook.
If you're doing that shit, I would quit being a window cleaner if I had to do that.
It's bullshit. You're lying. You're fucking lying. You're lying.
You know what I do recently? I'll go on the pro window cleaning, professional window cleaning page, and he goes, how much should I charge for this job? I will troll his ass, find out where he lives, and I'll go, oh, that's in...
I want you to pronounce that name.
What? What?
Cosmic Cam. I want you to fucking pronounce that name, Mark. You're the only person that can say that.
Where's Cosmic Cam? I don't see it yet. There it is.
You can't. Nope.
You can't say it, but fuck me, Mark. See what you say. Ruby Silver Goldstein. You guys are fucking terrible. I don't want to
say a customer's name on here, so I won't, but I'll tell you off air. And it is by far the funniest name, and I have the hardest time when they call me. And I can't say it way too hard.
Dude, listen. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not a fucking dude that I'm not Mark Tanner's dad. I'm not running a strip washer down the fucking windowsill and wiping it and saying, here, pay me. You know what I mean? But there's nobody watching this right now or fucking on this show with me right now that cannot tell me that you ain't fucking splashing, dashing as much as fucking possible. You trying to knock them hoes out, make them look good, and fucking lead. All this fucking like, I get out.
The time on the glass
first thing I do is I break out my Q-tips and I fucking get the fuck out of here, bro.
Right.
Miss me with that shit.
Snap on my gloves and put a finger in my ass. I go, what a good day today.
Dude, the fucking surgical glove thing, I do not understand, dude. I don't understand it.
Richie used to do that.
And I used to wear his ass. I'm like, do you stick your fingers in your butt during the day?
Right.
He's like, no, man, what are you talking about? I was like, why the fuck do you have them
I'd be like,
you have those gloves on, dude.
I have a birth later on today.
He's like, well, the chemicals in the soap on the hands. And I'm just like, bro, you got to grow man hands eventually.
Right.
Eventually, you got to grow some man hands, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You show up and I'm like...
nothing?
And I had some dude tell me I'm going to get cancer from fucking from dish soap. And I'm like, bro.
Well, he's
if dish soaps, if
smokes cigarettes,
well, I'm not even. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is, if dish soap's gonna get me, there's more. There's other shit that's everything's gonna get me. You know what I mean? Like, come on, guys. I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's fucking get down with the getting
it down. New generation acts like they're gonna die of nothing.
Right?
You know what I mean? All going. So what are
dude,
you gonna live 4 more years than me? A boring vegetable life.
Dude. I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but I've not communicated with I think he blocked me right after that interaction. He actually, Mike knows him pretty well, but him and I had I wasn't mean about it. I was just like, dude, like, really? Like the soap, I got to use a certain. We use a certain soap so we don't get sick from it. You know, it causes cancer and shit. Like what? They wash fucking ducks with that shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Right?
What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah. In a pinch, I've washed my ass with it. So, I mean,
all I said was like, I didn't say. All I said was like, listen, man, they wash like wildlife with that shit. Like show me a study that says Dawn fucking causes cancer. And then, you know, I'll agree with you, you know, and then I'll buy the $45 bottle of fucking Meyer soap to clean fucking windows with.
I know.
And then I'll put on my rubber gloves and my hazmat suit. My fucking, come on, dude. My grandfather used to fucking working in a factory full of fucking asbestos flying around in the air. He's 93 fucking years old. He loves spicy Doritos and biscuits and gravy. Quit being a fucking pussy. You know what I mean? He stormed the beaches of fucking Normandy when he was fucking 17. You fucking pussies.
Right.
Fucking burn your Prius. Go get a fucking 4-barrel carburetor and fucking call me in the morning, you fucking vaginas. And then on that note, we'll be back next week. Thanks for all our fucking sponsors. WindowCleaner.com. Fucking Maker fucking Products. American fucking Window Cleaner Magazine. Fucking all them fucking shits.
All them clowns.
All them fucking assholes.
Don't let you go fuck your own.
Black Diamond fucking Squeegee rubber. Everybody's going to be like, yo, Mr. Sorbo's going to call and have me fucking fired again. What a fucking shit show. If you guys don't like us, that's fine. I understand. We're not for everybody, but we're gonna keep it real here, man. There's almost 100 years worth of window cleaning experience sitting right here, right now. Combined window cleaning experience, almost 100 years. Am I right, guys?
Yep.
It's almost 100 years. I've been cleaning windows going on 20 years. Mark's fucking been cleaning 20 plus. Seth's fucking going on 20. 37. So we are super close to that. So, you know, we get all the tools. WCR gives us free shit all the time because we work for them. We're shills for them fucking guys. You know what I mean?
I ain't bought a speaker rubber in 15 years.
Yeah, me neither, dudes. You wish you could be like us. That's not true.
Dog. I spent so much money with them.
I try shit out. You know what I mean? I try shit out for the channel. That's what fucking, you know, becoming, you know, like a member of the channel help. I mean, you know, just like clicking the like button and subscribing and commenting shit like that helps. Clicking that fucking link, clicking the link in the bio and going through and buying shit from WCR, that allows me to try shit out like the power pad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but we appreciate everybody for watching. We, again, you know, it's going to be Wednesday nights until spring. That's just the way it's going to be. Football season, we're all football fans here. We get, you know, there's probably a lot of people that are watching that are normally watching football on Thursday nights. They're football fans, or they're at church on Thursday night. You know, whatever the case may be, it just works better for us to do it on Wednesdays during this time of year. We're coming up on 300 episodes, guys. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do with the 300th episode. We might even have to skip a week or two to figure out what we're going to do to shoot the 300th episode.
It's going to be an extravaganza.
There's talks of maybe pre-recording the 300th episode. And, you know, I'm going to tell you this. I'm most likely, we're probably going to get some prizes. I don't know if windowcleaner.com is going to give us prizes. I've not talked to Chris about that, but I know Maker Products is definitely giving us some prizes, and one of those prizes is, well, it's one prize, and it's going to have all of the things, and it's going to have all of the things that people want and have been wanting. And then, Black Diamond's going to probably hook us up with a Gross of Soft, a platinum, I should say. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hook it up. So I'll, maybe if Chris or American Window Cleaner Magazine or somebody else wants to fucking chip in, that's what we're gonna do. But most likely, guys, we're gonna do it differently this time. And the people that don't watch this show every week and don't support us and don't support the channel and all that shit, Mark has pretty much made the decision that you're shit out of luck.
Right.
If you don't watch the podcast and you only tune in to win shit from us during our big episodes, you're not going to win anything.
I'm a firm believer of this.
You support those who support you, but you continue.
At 100, we gave away prizes. At 200, we gave away prizes. And we watched to see if we had... Normally have 18 to 20 watching. So we have 35 watching when we give
35 to 40, 30, between 35 and 50.
Right. It goes back to the same 16 to 18 to 20, which means we didn't get people to stay, so we ain't giving them no prizes. So what essentially what that means is if you're a Patreon member, you're going to win prizes. And what I mean by that is only Patreon members are going to be entered to win the prizes. It's going to be completely random. Jacob's taking care of that with the randomization program and all that shit. Jacob will be in charge of all that, but you're going to have to be a Patreon member in order to win shit on the 300th episode. That's just it in a nutshell. I don't care what anybody thinks about it. I don't give a shit. We're scratching the backs of those who scratch ours. That's it, and that's all. Mark was completely right about that. He was a little on the fence about the 200th episode because of what happened on the 100th episode. He was like, man, there's only people tuning in to fucking get free shit. You know what I mean? And then it's going to people that don't even watch shit. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. You know what I mean? And then we did the 200 just like that, and look what happened. Same fucking thing. So Mark's getting his way this time. So you got to be an avid watcher, a Patreon member, and you will be a fucking... technically it's $12 a year. Yeah.
You could sign up for the $1 membership. You're going to get the same benefits as the $20.
Let me ask you a question.
There's no difference. There are tiers, but I've always set it up, and this is the way I've always done it. I've said this from the very beginning. I don't care if it's $1. If you want, there's different tiers. You don't get nothing extra. It's just if you want to do more, that's cool. If you don't, that's also cool. If you don't want to do anything else, that's also cool. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Right. Everyone gets the big discounts. I give Patreon discounts like every 3 months, like a good fucking 25, 30, 40% off of shit, you know what I'm saying? Out of the store, whatever. That's all I can tell you guys. Occasionally you'll get to see videos of me and my wife out doing shit together. You know what I mean? I've got a bunch of those I need to finish. I just haven't been... I got this new thing, this new computer, now I'm ready to go. Videos is about to be fired out. They're about to be coming out fucking rapid fire pace, firing them some bitches out. But that's just the way it's going to be, guys. I just wanted to let people know that, especially the Patreon guys that watch us every single week without fucking fail. I want you guys to know that you're going to be rewarded this time by not having to fucking argue with fucking, or try to call in over some Joe Blow that's seen the fucking, oh no, free shit, and click the live button, you know what I mean? That's not happening this time. That's not what's going to happen. Mark's voiced his opinion, and I know a lot of you guys that want the Patreon members like, man, we should get we should get first dibs on this shit, and you guys are right. So that's the way it's going to be handled. So just wanted everybody to know that Wednesdays until spring, the 300th episode, you're only going to win prizes if you're on a Patreon member. Sorry. That's just the way it's going to be. It's $12. Go do Waffle House outside only. Give me the money.
Boom.
But we love you guys for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click the link. Go to windowcleaner.com. Buy some stuff. A percentage of that comes back to me. I buy shit. I do reviews, shit like that. I buy monsters and cigarettes with it, really. Hopefully we'll have Jacob back next week. He's out with a family issue. You know, he had some pertinent family stuff that he needed to attend to this week. So, you know, it was kind of fucking shitty not having Jacob here, but he'll be back next week. We're going to hold his feet to the fire and make him do a tool time with Jacob next week. We need a stool time too, man. Stool time. We need another stool time.
When we get back, when we do a pre-recorded episode, I'll have a thing written out for it.
Already.
I'll be ready.
All right,
with
guys.
Audio and video.
Audio and video. Yeah.
Yeah,
you got a GoPro. You're gonna have a GoPro now.
Right.
You're gonna have a GoPro now, so there's no excuses not to take a fucking video of you taking a dump.
Yeah,
you know
someone sees me walking with it on my head, like, what the hell is that guy?
We don't want it on your head.
Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta put it on this head.
Aw, boo.
Yeah.
All right,
Wrong head.
You want the dangle angle? Come on.
Oh, that's
attached to an anteater. What is that?
Yeah.